Memphis, 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 Memphis. Nothing but Memphis.
Nothing but Memphis, Showboats, right here on the Captain's Log. I'm your host, Brandon, a.k.a. The Captain. We got a good one for you today, guys. Yacht Club, stand up. We're doing it again. Another week, another win, okay? Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but hey, we're out here dropping bars, right? That's what happens when your team starts 0-3 and then rattles all 5 straight and puts themselves in position for a playoff push right here, folks. It's Breakers Week. You know what that means. Tough divisional matchup coming up this weekend. Big playoff implications, both of these next 2 games. Last one's at home in Memphis, taking on the Stallions, but looking too far ahead. Focus on the Breakers first, and then we'll get to Birmingham. But thank you guys for showing up, taking a few minutes out your day to spend it with me, talking a little boats. You guys don't know how much it means, really. I love you guys showing up every week. I truly appreciate it. Drop a boat in the comments if you're part of the Yacht Club. Let me know. Let me get you a shout out on the show. All right. So we just won again. 5 wins in a row. Took down the New Jersey Generals. Went up to Canton, handled business. 25-16 win. The offense put up 1 touchdown. Okay? 1 touchdown. Cole Kelly, meh. Just kind of a meh game. You know, he threw an interception pretty early. I think he finished 15 of 24, 176 yards. The interception I mentioned, and a QBR of 67.4. If you listened last week and the week before, I think I mentioned it'd be cool to see the offense take over a game. You know, we've been hanging our hats on the defense, and that's good and dandy and good and fine. And the offense is doing just enough. You know, I've said it a few times now. We're doing enough to win. Would like it more if Cole cleans up that turnover there. But other than that, he was able to kind of hand the ball off. We were able to win the time of possession battle handedly, which definitely played into the win in this game. We were able to hold the ball for 40 minutes to the Generals' 20. You know, there's only 60 minutes in football, so we held the ball almost twice as much as they held the ball. So the offense, keeping with that theme, J.J. Wilson, man, okay? I can't even call him an offense guy. I mean, he just plays everywhere, all right? We had J.J. Wilson flying all over the place. Dude was catching balls. Dude was blocking for the running back. Dude was creating turnovers on kickoff, special teams. Went down the field, boom, helmet, right on the ball, popped it out. Huge turnover for the Boats. JJ's been a dog, man. Wanted to give him some shine this week. I should have put him in my little Twitter poll for Player of the Week, but I ended up giving it to back-to-back Kareth White. Okay, first guy to get back-to-back Player of the Week honors from me. I gave it to him last week because, I mean, he came back from injury. He did his thing. Looked like he didn't lose a step at all. Love to see it. And also, our defense is so good, man. It's so good. And I've given so many awards to the defense. I felt like it was time to give Kareth the award. He did what he had to do. He was instrumental in that last win. And then this week, he had to get it, okay? Dude had to get it. We got our first 100-yard rusher this season, thanks to Mr. Kareth White. 23 carries, 102 yards, 4 yards per carry, and his first touch, I believe his first professional touchdown of his career. Huge day for Kareth. Absolutely love to see it, man. The past 3 weeks, the Boats have just been on fire, dude. Like, running the ball. Running the ball. Not so much, you know, passing. We're trying to do our thing there, but running the ball this past 3 weeks, we're averaging 123 yards on the ground, okay? Compare that to the first 5 weeks of the season where we were averaging like 60, maybe 70 yards per game. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And you see, it took a lot of pressure off of Cole. He didn't feel like he had to put the team on his back too much. There were a couple plays, though, where he had to put the team on his back. You know, Cole is still doing his thing. You know, like I said, the game, his stats, meh, whatever. But Cole, the player, the gamer, doing his thing. All right. Offense, great. Like I said, held the ball 40 minutes, did our thing. But that Generals defense, man, did not make it easy. I feel so bad. It seems to be a theme with these North teams. You know, their defenses are so good, man. You got the Panthers, the Maulers, the Generals that we just played. Stars, they're more of an offensive team, but they've got a couple defenders on there that are pretty good as well. But those three that I just mentioned, Michigan, New Jersey, and the Maulers, those three are just lights out defenses, man. And it's a shame because their offense just can't seem to get it going, man. You know, that's what's been helping us out a lot. You know, I've been saying it. I want the offense to take over a game, but they don't necessarily have to, as long as they could just keep sustaining drives. If we could just keep drives alive, keep the other team off the field, keep our guys getting rested, fresh legs, Greg Reeves and the boys get out there and can run around ready to go. So the Generals defense, just a victim of circumstance, man. I mean, they were playing lights out from quarter 1 to quarter 4. Those dudes were giving it their all, and they definitely made it tough. You know, all of our points today, we got one touchdown, and then 19 points courtesy of Mr. Alex Kessman. But he went 6 for 6 with a long of 38, hit his kick every time his number was called, and his number was called a lot. Good enough for him to get Special Team Player of the Week award, too, from the USFL official Twitter. He's going to get him a cool little Miller High Life bottle with his face on it. That's awesome. Back-to-back weeks now that a Showboats player has won a Player of the Week award. We had Derek Dillon last week, Kessman this week for his 6 out of 6. They weren't, you know, crazy long kicks. You know, like I said, he had a long of 38, but he did what he had to do. He went out there, executed. You know, he can only kick where the ball is. You know, it's not like he can go out there and say, coach, let me hit a 50. You know, I'm feeling good. Let me hit a 50. Dude nailed all his kicks. He's been on fire ever since he got benched. Dude's came back from his benching, a whole new man, whole new player. Love to see it. And then back to this defense, man. Talking about the Showboats defense. That's been the story the past 5 weeks, man. I mean, just turnovers. All right, we got another 3 in this game. The fumble from J.J. Wilson I mentioned, where he just put his helmet right on the ball. And then we had 2 interceptions. Greg Reeves got himself one, and Antonio Reed had one. Funny story about Greg Reeves, if you listen to the post-game press conference on the YouTube, where is it? Right there. If you subscribe to the USFL Network YouTube channel, you'll be notified when those press conferences go up. They usually go up either a day after the game or right after the game, depending on how fast we're moving. But Greg Reeves said about his interception that it was almost a misassignment, really. He was supposed to be covering the flat. He just kind of got lucky, and he was staring down the quarterback, and he was like, well, I either got to knock this ball down or it's going to be a touchdown. Ends up getting his big self up there, catching the ball, nice interception, setting up the boats with some good field position. We had a few injured guys on defense this week. Jeff McCulloch, and no Kyrie Woods. Okay, Kyrie Woods is the top-rated player in the USFL via Pro Football Focus. So he's like a 92-point-something grade. It's the highest grade among every player in the USFL that they grade. And he was out this week, as well as Jeff. And it was good to see that we got some depth on defense. You know, a couple guys stepped up. TJ Green, who came in for Kyrie last week, came in this week, did his thing, handled his business. No glaring weaknesses, you know, that you think you might see when you're missing 2 guys like Jeff and Kyrie. The linebackers, the whole front 7, you know, stepped up for old Jeff. Greg Reeves, like I said, with the interception. Nate Hall, Aaron Hansford, Malik Lawal. All those guys, man, group effort. You know, it's just one guy, but Jeff does a lot for this team. Kyrie does a lot for this team. I guess it's 2 guys. But in a league like this with smaller rosters, those 2 guys can make or break your team. So it's good to see that the defense has some depth, and we were able to come out of this game on the winning side, thanks to defense and offense and special teams. These past 5 weeks, it's been real team efforts. You know, I mean, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I got a little news about Kyrie. Okay, Kyrie Woods. Sources have told me he will be suited up for this week's game. So hopefully that means we'll get him for this week's game and have him for next week's game. Need Kyrie Woods out there. Jeff, sources told me his injury was just a minor thing, just more precautionary, more than anything. He should be back next week, so we should have a full defense ready to go next week. One more thing before we talk about the Breakers. Shout out Nehemiah Shelton, man. The Showboats draft pick, the first one that they've signed from the collegiate draft. He got in, had himself a tackle, had a nice little rotational role over there in the corner position. Good to see that. Just wanted to shout out Nehemiah, let you guys know he's out there. The draft pick's out there, and it's cool. It's cool to see, man. I love every time we see another collegiate draft pick get picked up, even if we've only got a few weeks left. You know, more film for them. I'm here for it. So we got a big one coming up. All right, we had our fun. We did our little north trip. The South beat the North. That's what we do. The North's looking rough. North Division is rough. Looks like we're going to have another South Division champion, but we'll see. So this week, we've got the New Orleans Breakers, the big bad Breakers, I used to call them. Not so much anymore. Not so much. Until they won their last game against the Panthers last week, they were on a 3-week losing skid, or 3 losing streak, just down in the dumps, man. I know my boy Lowe, he had to go through what I had to go through. 3 weeks of just losing and having to come on here and try to give you guys the positives. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're both like, where's the positives, dude? Like, shoot. Although Lowe's team was the Breakers looked much better than the Boats did. So early in the season. But anyway, Breakers coming up this week. Good team. They know us. We know them. We've beat them once. So you would think we've got a blueprint. We have a way to beat them. West Hills hasn't really been West Hills as of late. MBT hasn't been MBT as of late. MBT, the past 3 games, has thrown an interception in every single game, at least one. He's got 5 total over the past 3 games. So you're good for that. You know what I'm saying? This defense, this Showboats defense needs to take advantage of that. We've got an opportunity. We're an opportunistic defense. We need those. Get a couple picks on MBT, sack them a few times, get them rattled. Contain West Hills, obviously. They got Anthony Jones that they might go to if Wes isn't getting traction early, so watch out for Anthony. But the rushing offense for the Breakers the past 3 weeks, they had West Hills, who just broke the record for most rushing yards in a single season, but it looked like he was going to get there a lot quicker, at the beginning of the season, but he slowed down a little bit. Breakers are averaging 75 rushing yards a game. They're averaging 250 passing yards per game just the past 3 weeks. These are all just past 3 weeks that I'm talking about here. So you kind of see him going down a little bit on the offense. Not that super explosiveness we saw. Although last week we saw Johnny Dixon and Jay Adams both go off for 253 combined yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay. Those two are always ready. You got big play Jay Adams over there. He's just get the ball in his hands. Big play waiting to happen. Okay. Johnny Dixon, Ohio State Buckeye. Dude's a savage. It seemed like every time he caught the ball, it took 3 or 4 guys to tackle him. So going to need some fundamental tackling in this game. Got to control Dixon and Adams. It looks like maybe West Hills. It's hard because it's like you want to isolate West Hills, but then it's like, has West really been doing much lately? Can we just focus on Dixon and Adams a little more? So it'll be interesting to see how that takes place. Like I said, man, turnovers. Turnovers is where this game is going to be won. Besides MBT giving up the 5 interceptions over the past 3 games, the Breakers as a team have coughed the ball up 8 times over the past 3 games. So this one's there for the taking, man. Could you imagine? Week 6, 6-game winning streak. We've already got the longest winning streak that's possible of the season. If we can make it a 6-game win streak, go into Birmingham, Birmingham's got to come to us into the Liberty Bowl and get that revenge, okay? We got to get that revenge. I'm sorry. But let's deal with the Breakers first. Let's deal with the Breakers. I'm getting ahead of myself. I am. I'm so ready for this Stallions game. You guys just don't understand. I got all these Stallions fans. Y'all are everywhere because y'all are like the Golden State Warriors. It's like the Cowboys, the Yankees. The Stallions won in the inaugural season, and they got all the fans. Everybody loves a winner. I understand. Everybody loves a winner. I would have jumped on that bandwagon too, believe me. But got to get through the breakers. Let's get MBT rattled. Let's get him sacked a couple times. Take advantage of those turnovers. Take advantage of Derek Dillon giving us short fields. And let's just go in and do what we've been doing, guys. All right? That's all I got for you this week. Yacht Club, we're doing it. We're really doing it, guys. Things are looking up. Hopes are playoffs. Championship is the goal. If we win out these next 2 weeks, guess what that means? Playoff game in Memphis, okay? That's right. If the Boats can take care of business, win the South Division these next 2 weeks, whoever the second seed is going to have to come to the Liberty Bowl. Could you imagine, guys? Could you imagine? Bro, first year back in Memphis, and the Showboats go right to the playoffs and get to host a playoff game? I'm getting too worked up. Yacht Club, I love you guys. Thank you guys. I know you guys are going to show up loud and proud. I've heard you guys on the TV every single week. Absolutely love to see it. Till next time, guys. Hopefully we'll be doing this again after another win. Go Boats.